The Naira-backed central bank digital currency named ENaira is a year old. Despite the initial hurdles to its adoption, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it is making efforts to ensure that Nigeria operates a 100% cashless economy. Godwin Emefiele, Governor CBN, said this at the first anniversary of the ENaira launch in Lagos on Tuesday. President Muhammadu Buhari formally launched a digital currency at the State House in Abuja on October 25, 2021. Now, the ENaira and its underlying technology called blockchain were projected to increase Nigeria's gross domestic product by $29 billion over the next 10 years. Now, joining me from London is Gospel Obele, Chief Economist, Streetnomics. Thank you, Gospel, for joining us on Business Edge.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Lekan.
All right, now, Bloomberg survey indicates that 0.5% of Nigerian population used the ENaira or are currently using the ENaira. Is that a worrisome trend?
Well, I mean, that's a fairly good way to look at onboarding, but it's not a very successful onboarding in the context. Because over 1 year, that's a lot of time to be able to capture a significant chunk of the bankable or the formal banking population. So within the context of market reach, market impact, and scalability, it's a worrisome size. But at least, I mean, the central bank has started something, but it ought to be more successful than that.
So invariably, you're saying that they've not really achieved their mark. But then let me quickly roll out the statistics. Maybe that can counter your stance. Now, 33 banks, according to the Apex Bank anyway, Apex Bank Governor, that's Godwin Emefiele, 33 banks are fully integrated live on the platform. 3 billion naira have been successfully minted by the bank. 2.1 billion naira have been issued to financial institutions. 1.0 million subscribers are on the platform. 3,305 merchants have successfully registered on the platform. 700,000 transactions amounting to about 8 billion naira have been recorded, and the list goes on. So aren't you seeing it from this perspective that this is a growth in process and is something that should be appreciated?
Yeah, it's a growth in process. I mean, I haven't said that it's not being appreciated. It's a good growth in process that's established. What I'm saying is that within the context of market reach, it could have been much more successful if the context of the onboarding itself was much more collaboratory, as it were. So there are a lot more rooms to sort of like succeed and scale what the central bank has currently achieved. But then again, we could have probably done more within the numbers, looking at it from the context of the total number of transactions that banks run on a yearly basis, on a year-to-year basis, total number of deposit transactions, the total number of accounts opened. When you compare all of that within context, I mean, it should be way more successful than that if the launch was a very successful one. But numbers are okay from a fair standpoint.
All right, let's quickly consider some of the policies of the central bank, looking at ENaira and cryptocurrency, as it were. In February 2021, the CBN cracked down on crypto for banks and banned banks from crypto exchanges. Was that a major undoing for the Apex Bank?
Yeah, so I mean, initially I mentioned that that there are concerns around how they're onboarded, the language and the series of policy events that were rolled up before the launch of the ENaira proved or showed that the central bank was slightly too early in the launch. Slightly too early also would mean that there were clear refusal to collaborate with financial technology startups, which could have been major on-ground driver of the ENaira, especially when you take that into cognizance, how fintechs operate in trying to reach the last mile and all that. So it could have been way more successful if it was a lot more collaboratory, if it was a lot more in sync with the existing conventional bank digital products. It could have been way more successful. I mean, the 2.1 billion is literally the size of a particular bank proof of funds deposit for a year. So a particular bank in Nigeria made almost slightly higher than that in proof of funds deposits alone. Now, not to talk about conventional deposits within the bank. So I'm just trying to say that the size or the possibilities to scale and do more within the ENaira really exist. But one of the reasons why you have the numbers we have now is slightly because of the policy language upon which the premise of the ENaira was introduced, and all of that, in trying to answer your question.
All right, let's look at the Nigerian currency, that is the Naira, that in 2015 was devalued 6 times. Now, it's been projected that next year there could be a further drop of about 20%. There's also the issue of galloping inflation. So is there any hope that the value of the Naira would appreciate and Nigerians will probably embrace the CBDC?
The value of the Naira is the function largely of the productivity of the economy. No country really thrives except its product. No country, no currency really thrives except the context of production in that country is really highly powered. And that context, in terms of that context, also interacts heavily with the key markets where those products are received and consumed in good chunk, in good sizes as well. So, because Nigeria is not a competitive or productive economy, the Naira growing in value is very it may not be possible within the short term, as it were. Also to state that, I mean, the value of the Naira equates also to the value of the ENaira. The ENaira is just a digital representation of that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Nigerians will onboard the ENaira as a means to if the currency was a bit more the currency appreciates. So I think a lot more within the ENaira context has to be done. That collaboration with fintech still needs to happen if we must be able to sort of like penetrate key blocks in the economy, key sectors in the economy, if we must reach the last mile, and all of that. And also the ENaira can be used as a tool to bridge the financial inclusion gap which the central bank had in mind earlier on. But that wouldn't be possible if the right collaborations are not in place, number one. Number two, that the ENaira's growth wouldn't be possible if we do not improve on financial education, financial literacy, and digital literacy in the region. Three, you still need some form of enablers to drive the ENaira to success. Currently, the model of ENaira is such that 2 parties must have an ENaira account for it to be successful. Those in my own context are seemingly barriers to also scaling the ENaira. All right, so these are a lot of factors I need to consider if the ENaira must be successfully scaled. There's a lot of potential to scale and do more within the ENaira. It's not too late, but that potential are being hampered by some of the sectors I just listed now. Factors, rather, I just listed now.
All right. Thank you so much, Gospel. I'm glad you said that there's a lot of potential in the ENaira if only the Nigerian Central Bank can get the act right. Thank you so much for joining the discussion.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, CBN's mandate of fostering a safe, credible, and robust payment system is the main motivation for the deployment of the ENaira, given the potential benefits it portends for a digital economy. However, Nigerians are confused with the policies of the Apex Bank and, of course, the global acceptability of cryptos and this particular CBDC and the potential that ENaira has in terms of competing favorably with other cryptocurrencies. But then if they can get the act right, just as Gospel has said, maybe there could be some bit of breakaway and breakthroughs in the platform and its achievements.